So I think that there's 4 elements to your singing voice. I think it's physical and mental, emotional and spiritual. Of course, they're all kind of bound together and they work in harmony. But for today, I want to take just the mental and just the physical. I want you to understand how your instrument works. And I want you to physically get it going. I'm going to give you some exercises. You can operate your machine and you'll be thrilled at the results. Some people like to compare their voice to a wind instrument or a horn, which, that makes sense. There's a big, long tube and then an opening where the sound comes out when you blow air through it. That works because here's your long tube and you gotta open your mouth and the sound comes out. Or they compare it to a stringed instrument, which would be a guitar or a piano, where there's a set of strings, all different sizes and lengths to make a certain pitch. And that's true too because of this fabulous instrument right in here. In your voice box, you've got 2 vocal folds that will transform into different sizes and shapes. So I do like to compare it to something that you can see and touch, but I think that the voice is far more fascinating and exciting. And really, the best way I can explain it to you is by using little objects. I can't actually get inside my throat and show you what you've got, or inside my tummy and show you what you've got. But by these little visuals, I think by the end of today, you're going to totally understand it and be so excited to start singing. So before operating any machine or playing any musical instrument, you've got to position yourself. For me, I could be a taxi driver. I could be a mom. I could be the dishwasher. You could be a secretary. You could be an office manager. Whatever it is you do during the day, I think it's really important to make the transition and become a musical instrument. The way I do that is to position my body and discover my singer's posture. So for your posture, spread your feet slightly apart. Align your legs and then hang upside down. Just let everything drip down. All your stress, all your troubles, everything that's worrying you. And then sit there for a minute. Slowly roll up and stack your vertebrae one on top of the other. Slowly coming up, your shoulders and your head being the last to come up. And as you do, your hair is going to kind of be in the way. Don't change it. Leave your shoulders. Now, you may think your shoulders are really rounded, but they're not. Check in the mirror. They feel rounded because they're relaxed. You don't want to press your shoulders down like a dancer. You don't want them to be stiff like a soldier, and you don't want them to be completely forward. If you feel like you're sunken in your chest cavity at all, raise it just a little, like you're a positive, happy person. But don't put too much attention to any one part of your body. Just do what's natural. And that's posture. So now let's position our bodies for a really good breath, which is probably the most important thing to singing correctly. So here in my hand, I hold an average, everyday, ordinary balloon, which you've seen a million times. Okay? I'm going to blow up the balloon. There we go. This would represent your lungs. You have 2 big balloons inside your body that fill up with air. I like to think of it as your gas. You're a machine, you need some fuel, this is your fuel. So, fill it up. Ready? Now, what might have happened to you is that your shoulders went up. That would have ruined your whole posture that we just worked so hard on. So make sure that you fill your gas tank or your balloon or your lungs, starting at the bottom. When you get your breath from down below, which I'm going to show you how to do, you have more power, more stamina. You won't get tired, and singing can actually be easy. So the way you do that is I like to pretend that my nostrils are in the middle of my back. I just imagine that that's where my nose is. And I close my eyes, and I fill up my balloons. And that way, you can't even see the inspiration, and you're full. Now, some people teach diaphragmatic breathing, which you might have heard of, or abdominal breathing. There's been kind of a fight about those 2 techniques. I've combined them both to do what I see is a very natural thing in our bodies, which is intertubal breathing. It's like an intertube all the way around you. If you take your hands and press them on the small of your back and take them on the front and press, you can feel it's already working. Try it. Okay? You see that? It's natural. So you take the attention away from big breath, put the attention down here, and that's the beginning of a good breath. So now you know how to breathe correctly. So here you are, full of wonderful air, and you filled up your gas tank correctly. Then you have this really long tube to transport the air up here. Now, at the very top of that long tube that transports the air are these rubbery masses that change and shift, and they're called your vocal folds or your vocal cords. When the air is passed through them and you pull them in a straight line, a beautiful tone comes out. This is what singing is. It vibrates the top of those folds, exactly like this balloon. So now you know that your vocal folds have to be placed in a straight line to make a tone. If you let too much air out, kind of sounds like that. That's like a whisper. Ha, ha. The vocal folds aren't coming together to vibrate to make the tone the way they should. So be careful not to blow too much air unless you really want to make a special effect, because that kind of air blowing is sort of damaging to your vocal folds as well.